Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting Minecraft tutorial. I'm Tyken, and today I'll be showing you how to use McEdit. First of all, let's go ahead and start off with some basics and just open a world. To open a world, you just go down to the open list and select the save file that you want to pick. Let's go ahead and do the texture test world. Then you just click the level.dat file and it should open. In a moment, it should open up everything and show you where you last logged out at, or where your player is, rather. Let's go ahead and start off with some basic controls, and yes, I was messing around on my texture test world a little bit. The basic controls are the WASD keys, W to go forward, S to go back, A to go left, and D to go right. Then you have your up and down keys, which Q lets you fly up, Z lets you fly down. Don't worry though, it gets a little confusing at first, but once you figure it out, it gets a lot easier, trust me. Then you can right click and you can kind of turn your head like it was a camera. If not, you just move the little box thing around. Anyway, you have a number of tools down here. Now that you know how to move around, let's go ahead and show you some bare basics. First of all, you have your you have your selection tool right here, which basically it's kind of like making a cube or square. You click one corner and then click the other one, and then everything in between is what you selected. There's also a couple of other things you can do if you're wondering what these nudge buttons are. They let you kind of move it around, like just say you want to move it a little bit left because you did a little too wide. You can move that left, move it back, move it forward, move it that way. And yes, you can even use the Q and Z arrows to move it upwards to make a cube, or downwards if you prefer. Anyway, then the same one works for the yellow square instead, because you see you have two corners and each one can be moved differently, which you can use to expand in different directions. Like you can expand that way, and up more. Okay, once you have a selected piece, what you're going to want to do is figure out what you want to do with that piece. They have a couple of little options. Over here you have select chunks, delete blocks, delete entries, and export schematics. Let's go ahead and start with these nudge buttons. What these nudge buttons do is it lets you move the entire box that you have, so you can move this around wherever you want it to be. And then you have this one, which nudges all the blocks that are actually inside your selection. So let's go ahead and grab a piece of ground right here and nudge it upwards a few times, and you can see this little piece of land literally floated up into the sky. And of course there's a crater where it was. Okay, now what you can do is again move the box, which kind of moves away from it. Then what you can do is you can also delete the selection. You basically fill everything in there with air, and it gets rid of them. Then what you can do is, if you made a mistake, just hold down Control, and then you can have all these other options. But I just press Z instead because it's easier, and it basically undoes the last thing you've done, and you can keep doing that a few times. Delete entries is pretty much delete everything inside as well. I'm not sure why they have two. Anyway, select chunks is basically it selects the entire chunk within that little box that you selected. So we have, I don't know, maybe 3 chunks in this little thing. I think that's about it. And then what you can do is, of course, you don't actually have to do anything with the chunks. You can do anything with just selected areas. But you could completely delete an entire chunk if you wanted to. Like, just say you have too big of a map, or you want the chunk to respawn. Pretty much works like that. Then what we have, let's go ahead and take this piece of ground. Let's export this as a schematic. What this does is it lets you take everything you selected in the box and export it as a schematic. So you can import it and put it other places. So let's see, let's name it dirt. There we go. Now what you can do with that is go to the import selection, come over here and click, let's see, here we go, dirt schematic. Open, and it basically sets it here. And you can nudge it and move it wherever you want it to be. And then when you're ready, or have it positioned correctly on where you want it to be, you just click import and it should automatically appear there. They also have copy air and water, which copy air does is if you have just, say, a massive cube selected, but you only want the blocks inside selected to import, because, like, just say you're doing it underground or inside of a building, and you don't want the air to be imported as well, which would delete all the blocks around it, you can just import the blocks instead. Water is the same thing. If you have water in the structure, you can import the water or choose not to. bunch of neat little things you can do with that. But let's just go ahead and import for now. Oh yes, you can, like I said, you can nudge it as well as before. You can also rotate it, which turns it, basically. Rotates it, I think, 60 degrees. Then you can roll it, which basically flips it, kind of, upside down. I'm not sure. Then you have flip, which, of course, flips it upside down, kind of. Of course, you can't really see the difference with this one, considering it's just one thin layer of dirt. And then you have mirror, which basically does the exact same thing, just kind of flips it. Anyway, let's go ahead and import it. And as you can see, we have an exact duplicate of what we had over here. Paste it right in our world. Then you can do even more advanced things if you have schematics from other people. Just say, my Death Star. And as you can see, you can import it directly into your map. Of course, bigger structures, like my Death Star, is going to take a lot more time to load and import. Of course, it shouldn't be too much work, but it does take a while. But anyway, let's go ahead and skip this for now, because I doubt the Death Star will fit in this small world. Let's go ahead and show you some other basics. Let's go ahead and select our dirt platform again. Let's see. Here we go. And what you can do is you can clone it, which basically gives you a duplicate, kind of like you've imported it. Or what you can do is click Fill and Replace. What this does is it fills up everything within a selected area with another type of block, such as, like, just say you want all of this to be gold blocks. Here you go, blocks of gold. Fill. It turns all of that into pure gold blocks. Yes, you can use this for cheating, but you shouldn't really have to. Anyway, let's go ahead and show you something else, which is rather interesting. Let's go ahead and turn the other half of this into diamonds. And I want to show you a neat little trick. Okay, once you have that, now it's half and half, just about. Go ahead and select all of it again. What you can do is instead replace a block, meaning it only replaces a certain block with another block of your choice. Just say you don't want the diamonds and you want it to be, I don't know, stone blocks instead. Even though we have this entire thing selected, it should only replace the diamond with the selected block. So as you see, it pretty much, let's go ahead and fix this. It pretty much just replaced the diamond ore. So you can pretty much use this for all kinds of neat little tricks. There's also some other controls I want to show you, such as the brush, which is partially what I use to make the Death Star. You can make any kind of surface, diamond, round, square, diamond, pretty much anything. Let's go ahead and use a round, should be a sphere, and let's make it much bigger. Let's say 20. As you can see, you have a giant sphere now, and of course you can select any material you want it out of, like wooden planks instead. And it pretty much works exactly like that. And then what you can do is, let's see what else. We already covered importing, we already filtering, I have no idea what that does, so let's skip that. Clone, brushes, Oh yes, you can also move your player, which is basically where your character is. You can move him pretty much anywhere, like I could move him on top of this platform if I wanted to. And you can also use this to move your spawn point. So whenever you die, you should move to wherever that spawn point is. Anyway, I think this is about it for the basics. I'll get into more advanced techniques eventually, and I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.